Over the years, we've seen many shocking fights between superstar players and managers, whether it's Alex Ferguson giving David Beckham a scarface to Mourinho calling Madrid players sons of you-know-what, after suspecting that Madrid captain Casillas was leaking info to his journalist girlfriend about matchday information that was costing the club games. But out of all these great coaches, I still say nobody has had more drama than Pep, to the point where people were accusing Yaya Toure of placing a curse on Man City from winning a UEFA Champions League title, because when Pep took over as Barcelona's manager, he also sold Yaya Toure and gave his position to Sergio. To fast forward in 2016, Pep Guardiola would join Man City, and his first big change in the squad would be to release Yaya Toure by claiming the midfielder was not on his plans. The decision would conclude with Yaya Toure calling Pep Guardiola a racist. But when you begin to study the way Pep has dominated football, you become to appreciate the madness behind the dominance. From selling Samuel Eto'o, who played a huge part in Barcelona's treble-winning season, to having a problem with Zlatan over his Ferrari, no manager has been more hated by world-class talent than Pep. And recently at Man City, players like Cancelo and Kyle Walker have requested to be sent out on loan just to get away from Pep, and even Kevin De Bruyne got informed that he won't be a Man City player in season 2025-2026. Even though the midfielder is currently starting games for Man City, there is a saying in football that no great player turns into a bad one overnight. But for Pep, the way he sees football is that no match day plan must be identical to another. Change is constant. But along with change comes unhappiness from players that don't like sitting on the bench, whether it's his fights with Sergio Aguero, who once upon a time took his manager out on a dinner date in order to find out whether he will be fitting on his plans, and the same with Kyle Walker too. Both players would end up leaving the club in not so good terms. Most top players have entitlement behavior, and most top coaches tend to sacrifice the team's success to keep one single player happy. But for Pep, those sorts of arrangements don't exist. With football changing at a very fast pace, someone is bound to be left unhappy with the positional changes that happen every day, or maybe happy if the player's name is Josko gvadiol, who was bought for 90 million as a centre back, but at Man City has been playing more as a wing back that spends a lot of time celebrating goals. When you compare Josko's time at RB Leipzig and his time at Man City, he went from scoring 5 goals in 2 seasons at RB Leipzig to scoring 10 goals in 2 seasons while playing for a team that has Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden. But the same can't be said about Matheus Nunes, who had gone from being a top midfielder at his previous club to being a starting right back at Man City. When some journalists decided to question Pep about the matter of Matheus's position change to being a right back while he was brought in the club as an attacking midfielder, Pep Guardiola's answer would give a glimpse of how no player is safe at the club after he said Matheus isn't smart enough to play midfield, an answer that you would expect from no coach other than Pep. And this is a perfect example of why players hate Pep Guardiola. Playing for Pep isn't for the weak. Till next time, peace.